It's coffee break! Yay! So, I'm going to apologize right off the bat about this one. I might seem of low energy because I'm just now having my coffee and it's warm.
Yeah, we had a whole thing with our water.
Oh my god. So Sunday, get this. We live in a townhouse and I figured out that's what this is.
Oh, that is what it's classified as?
Yeah, I thought it was an apartment, but apartments apparently aren't two-story.
Oh, well. Whoops.
I walk out of the townhouse, and there's a giant field of grass in front of us. We live in this weird little quadrant where we can kind of see all our neighbors and everything.
Yeah, been like a very square-shaped cul-de-sac.
Yeah, and I notice that there's a park bench right there in front of us, and there's just water coming out. And I was like, oh, it's a broken sprinkler. Because that's known to happen.
Yeah.
Kids will come by and just rip sprinklers out because that's what they do.
It's pretty common. I've seen it literally everywhere I've ever lived.
Yep. I mean, even as an adult, I still do it. Anyways.
Mine.
I'll just see it and just kick the shit out of it. Anyways. I guess that's my one swear word. Is that a swear word? Are we going to consider that?
I think it does.
Because everybody does it.
You know, I think it used to. Nowadays, I don't think it really classifies.
They say it all the time in PG-13 movies.
Yeah, you know?
Okay. That's not my one swear word. I'm going to use it somewhere else. And I know where I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got an opinion. Yeah, so I thought it was a broken sprinkler, but I realized it's leaking from underneath the concrete.
Yeah, so it's not like where the sprinkler is.
No, it's further away from it, underneath the concrete. Couple hours pass. I'm leaving to go get food or dinner. The football game's on. I come outside and I just see it's coming out of the ground beyond the concrete.
It looked like the earth was crying.
It looked like mini geysers were about to go off. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's Sunday. I don't know what to do.
It's like, well, I hope this isn't more of a problem than it needs to be.
I come back and the city water people have shown up. Mm-hmm. And his decision, instead of fixing it, was to shut off all of our water.
Everyone in our quadrant. And we could tell something was happening because I saw people walking past.
No. He shut off like 11 buildings' water.
Oh, not even just our quad.
This whole side lost water.
I could tell something was up because I was just sitting there and I could see people walking past. And suddenly they're all like congregating like right near our front door.
And that's because that's where it was happening.
And I'm like, what is that? What's going on? And you step outside and then you step back inside and you're like, the water's turned off. And I'm like, what? And I run to the sink and I turn on the faucet and yep, sure enough, we had no water for not 24 hours, but close to 24 hours.
It was probably like 23 hours.
Yeah, it was real.
It was a nightmare. And okay, so we got that.
So the point of the story was we couldn't make coffee yesterday, so you don't have any cold coffee today.
And I like to pre-brew my coffee to let it chill so I can chill out when I drink it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, I might have a phone call, so there might be a weird cut in here. Other than that, this should be a pretty normal coffee break.
I mean, the dogs are being very needy right now. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, okay, so intros. What you up to?
So this week is going to be fun.
Okay, so about me.
I'm going to release it's just a little video. It actually will go to Patreon today. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday, it's already available on Patreon. It's about One Piece. It's One Piece related.
Oh, about what we did?
Mm-hmm. It's a fun little video.
I don't recommend it. Not the video. You can watch the video. But I don't recommend doing what we did in the video.
Well, you didn't follow the rules.
I couldn't.
Well, you gotta...
I barely made it to the end. No one should... Okay. I think only some people are actually capable of doing that.
Maybe.
That was a lot.
No, it was fine.
And to be serious, I haven't watched One Piece since.
We thought about it for a second yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah, when we finished our other show.
I was not thinking about it.
You sure?
No, I was like, I gotta get back to the other show we were watching. We were watching a documentary. We'll talk about that later. I just finished up Separate Ways, the DLC for Resident Evil 4.
Yep.
It's all about Ada. You can find it all here on Barry Bottom Productions.
Woo!
Very fun. I noticed one person disliked it.
Why?
I don't know. I wish they would... If you're going to dislike something, just leave an explanation, please.
Yeah.
Don't ghost me on it, because then I'm going to sit there and be like, is it my voice? Is it because that was the longest video because I kept failing? And you get to see the pains of me failing? And honestly, even the last episode, I fail. Right? I fail one time. And then I turn around and I correct it really quickly. And it's actually pretty funny how I fix that.
Yeah.
Really fun. I would give the entire DLC, because I've already beaten it 3 times. After I did
When we were...
the whole Let's Play, I beat it twice yesterday.
When we were drying out with no water, you were just downstairs quietly
Just
chipping
jamming
away.
Did you hear my controller going off?
I did not.
Oh, man.
For a while there, I was like, did he die? Did the lack of water get him? It is so quiet.
I was pulling up my machine gun, and you can just hear my controller just freaking out going... I was like, wow. I haven't finished Mafia for Power On. I plan to do that sometime soon. I don't think anyone cares. I just gotta finish it for myself.
I understand.
And then Power On's gonna take a long, quiet break.
Yeah, I'm gonna refigure some things out. But maybe some other things might start happening. We'll see.
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on in my personal life that I gotta fix on. Okay, with all that being said, let's get into it, as they say.
The news of the week?
This is gonna be fun. Sag-Aftra.
Yeah!
So, you want to talk about it?
Well, I know the WGA, Writers Guild, they've, finally started getting talks about, fixing their contracts and stuff.
Yes, they're supposed to deliver a proposal soon. Apparently, it leaked or something?
This does not mean it's guaranteed going to be over.
Yes.
The proposal
They would all have to vote on it.
Yeah.
One of the big things that made this happen, believe it or not, it was Bob Iger.
Yeah?
He finally showed up to the table, and then a couple days later, they're like, okay, here's the proposal. So, yeah, it bothered Disney to the point where they're like, oh, I'll do something.
I've seen other people say that another thing that probably helped push them was seeing the amount of backlash against Drew Barrymore. I was like, no, yeah, there's no way you can, sneak yourself around this
Did you know that did not go through?
It didn't?
Yeah. The producers are like, cut this out.
Yeah, because,
it's not going to work.
That is, a guaranteed way to kill your show. That's, begging for bad press.
They were also told, even though things are going good for us, for the Writers Guild, go support the actors.
Yes, and there's also an animators strike going on, too.
Okay, cool. So...
Well, it was planned this way. They were all happening at the same time as each other.
So, SAG-Aftra, the actors in video games, have also decided to strike. It doesn't mean they're going to strike, but they voted to. So this is a fight on all fronts.
Yeah. We can't keep treating the entertainment industry like they're both expendable and also overwork them to death.
So, progress is being made. I don't know how much progress. We'll see.
It's a step. That's better than nothing.
It is. So, interesting enough, because of all this, a lot of shows got canceled.
Yep.
A lot of shows got delayed. A lot of productions were shut down. Stars came out and they canceled 2 dramas. And the other drama I didn't care too much about because I was like, okay, I mean, money, right?
Yeah.
Money talks here in this country.
That's literally,
it's not freedom, it's money.
No one actually cares about the reviews, the number on Rotten Tomatoes. What they actually care about is the number of dollars they get.
Yeah.
That's why bad things will get sequels, because they made more dollars. And that's all they care about.
Calm down there, Scorsese.
I was thinking about Sharknado, specifically. Because that's like a notoriously bad movie, but it has like a
that's
ton...
the point of it.
Well, yeah, so people go to see it, and even though it doesn't have great reviews, it gets a lot of money, and that's why it gets a lot of sequels.
That's the...
I know that's the point. I'm explaining it for them, in case they don't know that's the point.
Okay. Don't treat your audience like they're stupid.
I'm explaining a fun fact.
You're not wrong. Also, you're wrong about Sharknado. It's a classic, and it will live forever.
Uh-huh, yeah. Yes.
Did you know the subtitle for the fourth one? Because I forgot it, and I saw it yesterday when I was looking for a horror movie to watch.
Yeah? What is it?
May the fourth be with you.
No!
I was like, I love you, Sharknado.
Oh, at least they embrace it.
That's the point.
I know that's the point.
So Starz canceled another drama. And one of them, they canceled two, right? One of them was Heels.
I don't know what Heels is.
Heel was a drama series about heels of wrestling. Right? And there's two main guys. And one of them was Stephen Amell.
Oh, really?
And I was like, that's interesting. Especially when they're breaking way with all these strikes and everything. They canceled that one. Especially after what he said.
After he said, and then went back on that and was like, no, I'm striking now, guys. Do you like me? And it's like, nope, you already said it.
And he lost his only job. Which is fine because apparently he's just a dick. And his brother, Robbie Amell,
infinitely more talented,
known as playing Chris Redfield in Welcome to Raccoon City.
He's done so many things. They're all just such like weird small roles that I don't think anyone like. Oh, he played the ambidextrous man in Series of Unfortunate Events
in like an episode.
Yeah, which was so disappointing. They were supposed to last all the way till the end, and they didn't.
So, Robbie Amell, his cousin.
Brother.
Cousin.
No, it is his cousin. Oh, okay. That explains why they don't look more like each other.
Yeah. Upload Season 3 was announced.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which was weird because I thought they canceled that one.
Also, what do they do for the story from here? Because that second season was not great, but also, like, had a resolution. He did it. He succeeded. He's in his body again. The end.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really confused about that.
Yeah.
But I can say, and I know we said this like years ago, if you need something to watch, it's on Amazon Prime. Upload. Season 1. I only recommend Season 1.
Yeah, the second season? You'll be compelled, but no.
Yeah, you're going to be like, this was so good, it was so fun, it's so unique, and it really is. It's in a fun way to tell a story about uploading your conscience. Yeah,
it's like a really unique idea of both technology and the concept of life and death and what counts as living.
Yep.
It's smart. And then too many shows that have a really smart first season, they just don't know what to do with the second season.
Just tank it.
I blame producer meddling because the producers walk in and think they know how to do it, and they ruin things.
Yeah. Or shit writing.
That could do it too.
I mean, it can happen.
A great idea does not mean a great story.
So speaking of Scorsese, sorry. I believe I call him Scorse-osours.
Yeah, he is old.
I've got a few quotes from him from an interview, and I'm going to read them. Or do you want to read them?
I'll read them.
Okay. When you read them and when you guys are listening, it's going to sound like you had a stroke.
I'm so ready.
Now, this is about him battling superhero films again.
He just can't get over it.
Despite the fact that they're not doing well.
No.
Along with everything else.
He's
just set his sight on Cap's ass, and for some reason he's got ass.
That's America's ass, and I'm salty about it. All right. Mr. Scorsese, quote, There are going to be generations now that think movies are only those. That's what movies are, he said, with the interviewer continuing that they may already believe that.
So, hold on.
What? What do you mean they are? What do you
Those.
What
Those.
do you mean?
He's talking about franchised movies.
Oh. What?
But he's blaming superhero films because they're franchises.
There's other franchises.
I know.
Read
the next quote.
All right, next quote. Quote. They already think that, he agreed, which means that we have to then fight back stronger. And it's got to come from the grassroots level. It's got to come from the filmmakers themselves. And you'll have, the Safdie brothers, and you'll have Chris Nolan. You know what I mean? And hit them from all sides. Hit them from all sides and don't give up. Are you actually gonna, fight people? Do you just walk up to a bunch of moviegoers and punch them? What do you mean?
Hit them from all sides.
With what? What are you fighting? It's just movie preferences.
He's just working himself up.
Also.
And he made a big critical error in there.
Chris Nolan?
Christopher Nolan. Famous for directing the Dark Knight trilogy.
But he's one of those real artists. It's funny to me because does Scorsese know that other movies are coming out?
Yeah.
And they're really beloved and they're not franchise films?
Yeah. Just because the franchises make people feel comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
They feel like, oh, I can go watch that. But it's not like everyone goes, oh, there's only just this.
Yeah.
There are other movies. And with streaming services, if they did it right?
Yeah, there's now more than ever.
You can watch all sorts of stuff.
It's just, superhero movies are big because it reaches a really wide audience. Martin.
Oh.
Next quote. Quote, let's see what you got, he continued. Go out there and do it. Go reinvent. Don't complain about it. But it's true because we've got to save cinema. Wow, what a pussy.
He's afraid cinema's gonna die.
It's thriving now more than ever. The movie world has never been
evolved.
More popular.
I can now watch it at home.
People can now make movies themselves. Like Markiplier has made movies, you know?
Yeah, it's an easier thing to do now than ever before.
Also, don't complain about it. Why? Because you're doing enough complaining for everyone?
So yeah, he's batshit insane. Mm-hmm. He makes no sense. The way he's talking is just a very aggravated little boy.
He's just like a salty old man.
Yeah, he's talking like a boomer. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say right there.
He's like, not back in my day.
He has a movie coming out, which is Oscar bait because that's all he does.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what real movies are.
Yeah. And it's called Flowers of the Killing Moon.
That's a terrible title. What are you trying to be, Flowers for Algernon?
I wouldn't laugh at it.
Oh, yeah?
It's a very true story and very sad.
What's it about? I can't tell anything from the title.
It's about a white man taking Native American lands and them slaughtering them. Well, because the reason why they want the land is oil.
Okay.
But the way they go about it is horrific.
That is sad.
And it's not colonial.
Hey,
it happened in, the early 90s.
Hey, Scorsese, do you remember what, I just said, it's superhero movies are fun because it reaches a really wide audience. I don't know how many, 10-year-olds are going to be jamming to watch your sad new movie when they could just watch, Guardians 3 instead.
Oh, yeah, because that's cheery, too.
That was a bad choice. I should have just said Guardians 1.
So, Flowers of the Killing Moon's coming out soon. Critics are raving about it because it showed off in festivals. It did a whole syndicate, right? Mm-hmm. So they wanted Leo's character to stay alive and Matt Damon's character to stay alive. Leonardo DiCaprio, if you couldn't tell. If you don't know Scorsese well enough.
Yeah, he has the 3 actors he uses, and that's it.
4.
Oh, yeah, might be.
I think they're both in there, too. Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci.
Yep.
Have you ever heard Joe Pesci sing? He has albums.
He can sing?
No.
Oh. Ooh.
But he has albums. They're old. But yeah, it was not fun to hear little bits of that. Anyways, they wanted to keep these two characters alive. And this is what he says. Because he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Because this is what he thinks. They wanted... what they wanted was a franchise, he said. It wasn't about moral issue of a person living or dying. So he's paranoid to the point.
Yeah.
That he's afraid they're going to make us... Who's going to franchise this horrible story?
Yeah, I know. Like, oh, can't wait to bank on that money again.
Flowers of the Killing Moon 2 this summer.
More flowers. More moons.
Sunrise.
No, I do. The one thing I can agree with is the idea that I don't think every movie needs a sequel.
No.
And too many movies these days are made with the idea that they will have like 2 or more sequel films already ready to go.
Yep.
So I guess I can agree with him on that idea, but calm down, Scorsese.
Yeah. Rick and Morty's new trailer came out.
It did. We finally saw.
We don't know who the voice actors are. But they're damn near close.
Yeah.
They're slightly off. I can tell they're slightly off.
It's Rick is slightly different. He doesn't sound quite as...
abusive?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know who the actual actors are.
Yeah.
Some people think it might be AI, but I don't think so. AI's not that good yet.
No, it's not. The trailer looked fine. I just didn't watch the last season because it's the same thing over and over.
It's just Rick and Morty again.
At the end, they hate each other, they try to kill each other, and we start up again.
Mm-hmm. There's always going to be some moment where you're like suddenly reminded that, oh yeah, he is technically Morty's grandfather, isn't he? And they do love each other and are a family. Well, maybe not love each other, but they try to love each other because they're a family. And it's like, oh yeah, that happens. Anyway, back to like, oh, in this episode, we're on a poop planet or some shit.
There was a moment in the trailer that I laughed, but I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Okay.
Because it was very inappropriate. But it had to do with Jerry walking up to Rick when he's trying to work on his spaceship.
Yes.
And he's like, can you help me with the situation?
That was funny.
I was like, what happened? Okay. We're going to get into some video game news.
Yeah.
So a group of ransom hackers... I hate hackers.
I do, too.
I don't even know what to call them. Jerks?
Yeah. I think that's too mean to the word jerk, though.
I know, because it's like...
Scumlords?
Not everybody's overweight living in their mom's basement playing D&D. It's a South Park reference, okay? A very old one.
It's a very old reference.
I guess they're playing WoW, but anyways.
It was WoW, yeah.
That was disgusting.
And then they call up Butters, and they're like, alright, Butters, you gonna play with us? He's like, I haven't been playing that game. And they're like, you've been playing your game the entire time we've been playing our game. What have you been doing? And Butters is like, I've been playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And this year, an actual game called Hello Kitty's Island Adventure came out. And everyone's like, Butters was a prophet.
I love that show. So, these hackers are claiming that they have stolen documents of Sony. Mm-hmm. And no one knows who they are. They think they are coming out of Russia, Ukraine.
But why?
And I was like, aren't they at war? Don't they have better things to be doing?
They have other shit to do.
I'd be a little more concerned about living tomorrow.
If I was truly a hacker living in Russia and or Ukraine, and I was like, time to hack the Americas, I wouldn't opt for Sony to be the thing I hack, you know?
Well, they didn't even hack the games. They took, like, backlogs.
That's weird.
And, what are the things that you look up on the... Oh, God.
Like your cache? Your search history?
Like, HTTP semicolon / / I forgot what those are called.
Hyperlink?
Sure. Anyways, they claim they have all these things, right?
Okay.
And they're like, well, because Sony doesn't want to pay, we'll sell them to anyone who wants them. And then as I kept reading, they're like, if nobody wants them, by September 28th, yes, in a few days,
Okay.
they're going to release them publicly.
Okay, so...
So, this happened Monday.
Uh-huh.
Or, yeah, I think Monday. And then this morning, Sony was like, fine, we'll investigate.
We'll release this publicly.
They waited 24 hours before they were like, I guess we'll check this out.
They're like, we'll release this publicly. And it's just a list of, like, how many people looked up, like, Hentai World 2 versus, like, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I was worried because I was like, I play Sony, obviously, and I was like, do they have my credit card information? Is this going to be a problem? Do they know my address, and everything? Mm-hmm. No, they don't have any of that.
I can tell you how many people Googled the answer to this puzzle.
It's such an empty threat that it makes sense for Sony to have waited so long to be like, okay, we'll check it out. And then what are you going to do against a mega $1 million corporation? Billion, by the way. Mm-hmm. Billion, because they own Spider-Man.
Yeah, right?
Deal with that, Disney.
I'm sure they're even asking for.
They didn't say.
Guys.
I think this is just an empty threat.
What losers.
But we got better leaks.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. My favorite buddy over at Microsoft. You know, the people who love to play with everybody. They're fair, they're kind, and they're the greatest gaming people ever.
I haven't owned an Xbox console since the original. And when I got it, I didn't know what it was.
I bought an Xbox 360 back in 2012. I upgraded its SSD drive to the biggest amount I could. Mm-hmm. And played one game, didn't like it, and just re-gifted that at Christmas to my brother. Because I was like, I don't want it. And then I bought another PS3.
You did have so many PS3s.
It's so... Yeah, I'm not an Xbox fan.
No,
the Xbox suck. Boys...
They have no good games. They ruined Banjo-Kazooie. I'll never forgive them.
Yeah, they have been alienating people in their fandom, which has died out. Mm-hmm. But back in the day when there was a real console war, God, I hated them.
They were so... Well,
it was like, you have nothing. You have Halo.
It's just Halo.
I can go get Call of Duty and have the same experience. But it's not sci-fi. It doesn't have to be.
Also, Halo isn't even good. The only thing I know about Halo is Red versus Blue, which is not Halo. It's just people playing with Halo controllers.
What's even more sad is a shit company made Halo, and then a shit company took Halo and made a shit product. And then sold it to you guys.
I'm gonna be honest. I really don't think we're gonna get any. I think Ruby's done for. I think it's gonna get canceled.
And no one's talking about it. Except for you.
Yep. It's just me. Not even like the actual like obsessive fans of Ruby are talking about it anymore.
Yeah, that last season must have broke you guys, huh?
And there's just nothing to say. Nothing happened.
Okay, so this is what leaked in a Microsoft email. Some of this is laughable. In fact, we're going to start with the funniest one.
Most of it is laughable, I'm going to say.
Yeah, the fact that they think they're so high up there. Mm-hmm. Phil Spencer wrote this to the Microsoft personnel about what he's planning throughout the future of the Xbox, right? Mm-hmm. First one, Microsoft considering buying Nintendo. Quote, at some point, getting Nintendo would be a career moment. It would be.
It sure would be.
He speculated that the Japanese games giant would be more open to acquisition offers in the future due to changing pressures on its board of directors. Quote, it's taking a long time for Nintendo to realize that their future exists off their own hardware. A long time, ... semicolon dash bracket to create a smiley face.
Like...
Not even a emoji.
Not even a regular, normal emoji.
So what did Nintendo have to say about that when they read that?
I think they just laughed their asses off. What? I'm literally befuddled. It's just taking a long time for Nintendo to realize their future exists off their own hardware. No, I think they are well aware, and that's why they're so much more successful than you. Listen.
Wow. They also thought about buying Valve or Warner Brothers Games. Which you can acquire Warner Brothers. That's really easy. It's cheap as fuck.
With what money, also? I don't know how much money Microsoft really makes.
I'm sure Microsoft makes money, but this is the Xbox division.
Yeah.
Okay. No way. Dude, you quit. Quit speculating. You know, aliens exist. I can't prove it, but they exist.
We could buy Nintendo.
Or you can just bow down to them and realize that they were the ones. They made the consoles that make...
Well, you were sitting there fiddling around with your mini console war with PlayStation, and Nintendo wasn't bothering with it because they didn't need to.
Yeah. And look at that. Nintendo and Sony are really good friends.
Yeah. Hey, I couldn't help but notice that, like, you know, Sonic is in Smash Bros. Now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Sora. Anyway, where's any of those Xbox characters?
Well, where's Kratos?
Yeah.
Watch, Kratos will show up. Along with Jack and Dexter. Alloy?
Yep. Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards.
Screw you, Xbox. Bethesda might be working on an Oblivion remaster. So they're talking about remastering
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. And then they're also going to talk about remastering Fallout 3.
Why?
These were their biggest games.
I guess so. But, like, why not just make new games, guys?
Yeah. Apparently Bethesda's also going to make a sequel to Ghostwire Tokyo, which I thought did not do well.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and also remaster Dishonored 3 or make a sequel to it.
Okay, so they're just going to attempt to do anything at this point.
There's only one thing that Bethesda can do that would make me very upset.
What?
Evil Within. If they do that, it's war.
I don't think people liked Evil Within enough. Also, I thought its story ended.
You can start a new story. You don't have to just keep playing as the same guy.
True, that is true.
He thinks AAA games have lost their ideas. Basically, he's saying that...
They're formulaic.
No. Not every company can spend $200 million. You know, he points at Activision and Rockstar Games for Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
And that's true. I mean, nobody cared.
No.
But Striking Distance Studios, who made one game, which was Callisto.
Yeah.
Where I tried to do a power on, and we talked about it last week. The guy who created it and the studio and the game itself, he left. It was such a failure. He left. They fired half their staff, and now they have to work on something completely different.
And it's sad because you look at it and you can see that they did put a lot of effort into it.
It's a really pretty game. It's just... it sucks.
That's the thing. I think a lot of them really prioritize, like, oh, it looks really good. Look how realistic it looks. It looks so... well, what's your gameplay? It's the same thing we've been doing since 2002. like, you know what's some of the best games out there? Like, that's making the biggest splashes? It's the indie games. Because they're creative. And they might not look amazing. Like, Undertale has a distinctly lower resolution style on purpose, but its gameplay is fantastic.
Yeah.
Undertale would do laps around any single Microsoft game, any day of the week.
I don't know about that.
You never played it.
Yeah, I know. They theorize that the next generation will come out in 2028. They'll create a new Xbox for that, which I thought the console wars were dead. Back out of it. Just stick to PC.
Yeah, just do what you do best.
Work with the master race, as they call themselves. Which, fine, whatever. I'll let you have your heyday. They think that Red Dead Redemption 2 will get a graphic update for that because they think that Rockstar's going to keep that around that long.
Why?
Which I'm like, I think next summer. I know a lot of people theorize things about the gaming industry, and Rockstar is very quiet about stuff. Mm-hmm. But more and more stuff about GTA 6 is coming up.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure we will see it next summer at whatever convention or...
And we might get the first, rumblings about a Red Dead 3, because I don't know why you would just go back and redo the games that you already made.
Why keep calling it Redemption?
I don't know. We could go with a new one. That'd be pretty fun.
Like Red Dead Retribution.
Ugh, just getting more and more longer.
Gotta keep that RDR, man. So I don't know why they think this is going to be a thing. That doesn't make sense. And Rockstar has not commented on this.
Yeah, they're like, what are you talking about us for?
They think a lot of people bought their consoles. It's not true. They dramatically underestimated Baldur's Gate 3.
Man, so good. I'm so not far in it, but it's such a good game. And I could tell they would underestimate it, because they look at it and they're like, oh, it's not a third-person shooty game. It's not good. Oh. No one cares about romancing in video games.
Okay, fangirl, calm down.
I'm just saying, that's what carried Fire Emblem to fame and popularity. Yeah.
Phil also wasn't impressed by the PS5 reveal, which, if I was a CEO and I was trying to show how much of a cock I was, that would be something I would say.
I guess so.
Right? But PS5s are really hard to get. Mm-hmm. You can find Xboxes everywhere.
We saw that video of that guy just crying.
Oh, it was so cute.
It was very precious.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did. It was very cute.
He got it, and he's staring at it on the counter, and then he hugs it, and then he pulls away, and his partner's there with him, and you see him just wipe away a tear.
It was when someone in the comments was like, man, he's so happy, he's not even getting a game. It's just the console.
And I don't know, when was the last time you bought a console and you felt that way?
Oh, it's been a very long time. I guess the 3DS, I would say.
I can remember mine. 2020, $1,000. Got my PS5.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
It was.
I love having it. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, just a bunch of, apparently Xbox is just not doing smart decisions.
Yeah, they're basically just going off the wall talking about just these crazy concepts about how they're going to unveil a new version of their consoles because they think that their Xbox is more powerful. Technically, it is more powerful than the PS5. The thing is, nobody wants the damn thing.
It doesn't matter how powerful it is. You have no games for it. That's the part.
They're also feeling FOMO about PlayStation creating that Pro controller.
Oh.
You know that very special controller that you can buy?
Yeah.
I really want one.
As I sit there and look at Nintendo, it's like, hey, you want a classic Game Boy? Or GameCube controller? Or a classic N64 controller?
Dude, the N64 controller for the Switch? You can't... It went up one day. This is earlier this month. One day.
Yep.
Sold out.
Yeah.
People will do anything to go back to nostalgia.
It's also, it would make, when you're playing those old N64 games on the online expansion plus store, having an actual controller, especially with something like Banjo-Kazooie,
that would make it more fun.
The button presses are a lot more intricate. It would really help. You can play it normally.
My only problem with it, limited selection of games. We're talking about Nintendo now. Screw Xbox.
Because why bother? There's nothing else to say about Xbox.
Here's where I'm going to use my F-bomb. Phil Spencer, go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sick and tired of hearing you talk. Every time you talk, you just say utter nonsense.
You're an old has-been who doesn't understand
You don't understand the industry or what gamers actually want.
Yeah, make your hardware as strong as possible, but so long as your games suck, no one wants it.
It took me a little bit of time to actually find this article, because when I typed in Microsoft News, it was nothing but about how great Xbox was. And who was publishing that? Xbox.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you're an evil corporation.
You're just in there patting yourself on the back, being like, please believe me when I say I'm amazing.
Now, for a student, a college student, right? Or just somebody who needs Word docs, what else? Sheets?
Yeah, sure.
Excel?
Yep.
And what's the other one? Slideshow?
Yeah.
Right? You would have to pay annual fee to get it on Office.
Yeah, when I realized that Word wasn't actually free, I was just getting it for free with student discounts and stuff.
Yep.
When I realized that, that's when I was like, nah, I'm just Google Docs.
And I use Google. I've been using Google for years now. I literally write my scripts on it. It's free.
Yeah.
I can store it. I can pull it up on my phone anywhere.
It's easy to, like, manage.
Yeah.
It's very intuitive. There's a lot more, like it's easier to find, if there's a thing you want to do but you can't figure it out, there's a lot more tutorials out there than you would ever have for Word.
Yeah, you can create slideshows with slides, and they have Sheets, which is Excel, and they all function very similar.
Yes.
And they're free.
Yeah.
So.
You suck a dick, Phil.
Nintendo, their online thing.
Yeah.
Limited selection, right? And then I don't like that they retrofit it. I know that the games were created in a certain aspect, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. If I put in a Nintendo 64 into my TV downstairs, right?
Yeah.
It would fill up the whole screen.
It would. That's the thing.
It would look bizarre, but it would work.
Yeah. One thing, and it's weird because it is like letterboxed weirdly.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if it has like the sides because it wasn't like full screen. You know, the aspect ratio would be slightly different. But it also like is like the top and bottom is also letterboxed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too bothered by it. I usually do handheld, so it's right up next to my face anyway. Something that does bother me is you can't remap your button control. Because I'm like, I have these like arrow buttons on the side.
Yep.
If I could use those in replace of the C buttons, I think that would work. But you have to use the other analog stick as your C buttons.
Yeah.
And so the stick is not as precise as a button. And it's also annoying because they don't change any of the dialogue from the game. So in Banjo-Kazooie, you walk up to Bottles, and Bottles is like, press down on the C, press the down C button and B to do this move, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't have a C button. I'll go into the menu, because the menu will tell me what it is. And it doesn't. It just shows me what a classic N64 controller is, and what those buttons would do in the game. And I'm like, no, I don't. It doesn't look like that in my hands. You have to, like, adjust that.
Yep. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's a great concept. They just need to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see much really cool things come from Microsoft.
Mm-mm.
And the fact that Bethesda kind of bowed out and allowed themselves to be bought up like that.
Well, so they were a terrible company.
What do you mean?
Weren't they, like, abusing their staff and stuff? Weren't they one of the ones
like
doing that?
every company now.
Yeah, that is true. It is so hard to be like, hey, don't support them. Because there's also always people being like, but what about all these other companies? Are you going to not support them? And it's like, all right, I'm going to do my best. What do you...
Whatever. Okay, it's Box Office Trolls.
Box Office Trolls! Woo!
We're going to do some personal reviews like we usually do.
Yep.
First one off. Okay, if you haven't seen it, turn this off and go watch it and then come back.
Yes.
IGN gave it a 6 out of 10, and they can go do something with themselves. Because this was so
It
cool.
was really good.
I geeked out the entire time.
What's it called?
They Will Not Save You.
It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
It's so good.
It's an intruder invasion?
It's like an invasion mystery type of horror movie.
With sci-fi elements?
It's really smart. The smartest thing...
There's only one piece of dialogue.
Yeah. And it's like you're sitting there the whole time like waiting to see like what's the dialogue going to... Because once you realize we're not talking for like the first 15 minutes, it's like once we do talk, it's going to mean something. So you're just sitting there waiting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's smart. And it tells you everything even without the use of dialogue really smartly.
So, I guess I can give a brief synopsis on my own about it. A young woman named Bryn lives in a small southern town where she works on sewing. She's a seamstress.
Yeah.
She lives by herself, kind of in the outskirts. And then all of a sudden, one night, something breaks into her house.
Yes.
And now what is that thing? It's an extraterrestrial.
It's so smart.
And it's hunting her.
It's creepy.
They're not... Oh. And they come in all shapes and sizes. Mm-hmm. The town people start getting weird because of these things.
There's also like bad blood with her in the town because of events that happened.
She doesn't talk.
Yeah, she's not mute. She's like selectively just not talking. She's quiet.
Yeah.
It's so good. The sound design.
It's all about sound design.
You gotta make sure like you can hear this one because it's really, really good.
And if you love like alien abductions and everything, like if you know those stories and you're kind of passionate about it, this is the movie. Because I was pointing out things to you where I was like, this makes sense because these are the common aspects of these stories and what these creatures would actually be based on.
I like it because it was very smart and artistic. You like that, Scorsese? A nice artistic movie. Did you watch this one? Doubt it.
Does not need a sequel or a franchise. It's fine on its own.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it got scary at moments.
It did. I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, there's some iffy things.
Something got really creepy. Ooh, yeah. But in like that good creepy way.
When she thinks she's safe and it's up on the barn.
Yeah. The way it walks.
I loved when it was signaling the... It was so cool. You gotta go see it.
You have to watch it.
And you just watch it in your own home. It's really easy.
Yeah.
Now, that Netflix series we're watching is Wrestlers. It's been out for a while. It's a documented series, 7 episodes. Fascinating.
Yes, talking about the OVW, which is the Ohio Valley Wrestling Division. Wrestlers. Yeah.
It's about a summer where they try and build this whole thing up to see if they can be successful. Even they're looking at WWE and AEW as like competitors, but they're not at that level yet.
They also talk about WoW, Women of Wrestling.
Yep. Which was inspired by Glow.
Yeah, which we've talked about how much we love Glow before.
Yep. And even if you're not into wrestling and you're into like storytelling, it's really fascinating because you realize wrestling, it's probably the most intense sport there is.
Yes.
Because they have to tell stories. Mm-hmm. They have to be characters. So they're acting and they have to be physical about it.
It's the most extreme form of improv you can think of.
Yeah.
Because you can't script that out. Not all the time.
Yeah, and there's that one episode where they lost signal for like 2 minutes and they had to improv for 2 minutes. And it got crazy. But everybody was safe.
It was super cool. I love wrestling. I love wrestlers. I love the stories with wrestlers. I think it's super fun. It was great.
I didn't get into wrestling until 2019. And that's when we started watching SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, I'm a Miz fan.
There was a part during like the last or second last episode in Wrestlers where Al Snow, who's the guy in charge of OVW, he was like somewhere and you see a couple of other wrestlers walking around and I just went, oh, it's the Undertaker.
Yeah, we were watching like WrestleMania one time and he came out and I was like, who?
And I'm just geeking out like, oh my god. He met Scooby-Doo one time.
Who was he off to go fight? It was that creepy guy.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense because they have similar concepts with their characters.
They're like the ultimate heel.
They're like hell demons.
Mm-hmm. And that was fun because I expected not the Undertaker to take him down in like 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. But that's just the way the show went.
Yep.
Only Murderers.
Yeah, that show.
New episode tonight. Also, we should have the new Kitchen Nightmares on Hulu
Oh,
if you don't have live cable, and I'm definitely not banking on it.
You tried for like 30 minutes, even though it's like it's over. It's.
Oh man, I tried to go back so hard.
You were like, I could just rewind live TV if I try. You looked in all the menus and stuff. Aww. Now, Only Murders though.
I love that show.
I know.
I spent a whole summer and watched the entire show on YouTube.
Yes.
2013, baby.
Yay. No, Only Murders, I feel like now, with the third to last episode, it's finally starting to, like, get good. It's happening. Which made me realize just how much of the last, like, 10 episodes was just pointless faffing about.
Who do you think the murderer is?
That's the thing, like, I don't...
Because we read ahead. Mm-hmm. We don't know anything, so we can't spoil anything.
Yeah, it's like the description of
yes.
the video of the episodes.
And you can find it yourself if you're following along. But it says that they know the killer's in the theater when they're doing opening night.
Yeah.
So is it a reviewer? Or is it a cast member?
I don't know.
Is it a family member of either or?
Yeah, despite them being investigators, technically, and going out of their way to try to figure out who the murderer is.
I'm pretty sure they broke the law in the last episode.
Yeah. Yes, they did. But, like, doing that, like, they're not actually narrowing down their suspect list much. It's like, here's our cast. And it's like, oh, cool, we're going to do like a locked room mystery where we know for a fact it's one of these 12 people. Nope, it's not. We immediately shoved all of those 12 people into the background and they fell into obscurity. None of them are the murderer, clearly, because they've gotten no screen time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. So I don't think it's Meryl Streep's character, and I also don't think it's Dickie. I don't think either of them are the murderer.
I think it might be... I can't remember his name, but the black guy.
Which one?
The one who's in the musical, but they saw him at the jazz bar.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
It also, it could be...
I think it's Taubert.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm, because...
Her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of missing in some episodes where I was like, huh.
Yeah.
He was there enough to lead them astray.
Yeah.
If you were a smart killer, you'd do that. But also, that would be... Mindhunter here. That'd be a very telling tale that you are the killer.
Yeah, I don't think Only Murders is on the same
level of thing like that
as Mindhunter.
Okay.
No, I think it's Taubert.
I'm not gonna talk about this until next week because it's more relevant next week.
Okay.
So here's the box office itself.
Woo!
Number 1, None.
Still, good for them.
It's been number 1. It's still just going. It's gonna get totally knocked down.
Are there reviews for it? Like, what's it getting on Rotten Tomatoes?
People are actually liking this one. Apparently, this one's better than the first one.
I mean,
but there wasn't much hill to climb.
Yeah, it's better than Dog Turd. I guess that's a pretty easy feat.
Expendaforables.
It's so stupid. Stop putting the letter 4, like Fan 4 Stick, in the middle of the titles, guys. I don't care.
Because you call it Fan 4 Stick and other people do, I was like, okay, Expendaforables.
Expendaforables.
You did it to yourself.
Like, I get it's technically leet what they're doing, where you use letters when you use numbers that can resemble a letter in the middle of a word. Like
lucky number 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never got over that.
Or when you use a 3 instead of an E.
Oh, I got some pet peeves. So, Expendaforables.
Yeah.
Worst opening for an Expendables movie ever.
I didn't even know they were coming out with a new one. But I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know there was more than 2, also. I didn't know there was a 3rd, and I didn't realize there was a 4th coming out.
The 3rd came out a long time ago.
Was there any marketing for this movie? Anywhere?
When I was watching Fast and the Furious 10.
Uh-huh.
God, good movie.
Yeah?
Great movie. Better than Expendables.
I forgot.
A Haunting in Venice. The
Good for that.
Equalizer 3.
Ah,
I've seen no marketing for that one.
nope.
5, Barbie.
Still, top 5, baby!
Number 6, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
Good for them.
These damn franchises and the kids, they're ruining cinema.
Meh, meh.
It Lives Inside. This one looks kind of creepy.
Which one is that one?
It's like a jar. I think it's a Bollywood film. Or a combination of Bollywood and Hollywood. Mm-hmm. But there's this jar that she gets, and she like opens it up, and it unleashes a demon.
Cool. Nice.
Dumb Money. Oh, that's already out?
All right.
That was supposed to come out next week.
I want to watch that one.
Dumb Money stars Paul Dano.
Who we love.
Do we?
We do. Has he ever done anything poorly? Exactly. He's been in so many things. Surprisingly,
no, I do like him a lot. He's very fun. Okay. It's about the stock market exchange having to do with GameStop.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be very funny.
It's supposed to be very funny. I don't know if you could hear him as he turned away from the mic.
Trying to stop the dog from making noise. Blue Beetle. And number 10, Oppenheimer.
Boo. Sorry, Oppenheimer. Can't ever catch back up to Barbie.
Well, we should look at directors like Christopher Nolan, too.
Gotta hit him. Hit him on all sides. Don't stop.
I'm about to hit him on all sides about his nonsense.
What are you saying, Martin?
So, what's coming out this Friday?
A bunch of stuff.
There are 4 big movies, and I guess 3 now because Dumb Money's already out.
Yeah.
But I guess it would be more widely released. So Dumb Money's one of them. Mm-hmm. The Creator, which is a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
You've seen plenty of trailers of it.
And it looks so not creative. It looks like every half-baked sci-fi idea anyone's ever had.
Yes, it does. It looks like Elysium all over again.
Yeah. Look, I have a kind of unique looking thing. That doesn't make a good story, though. Just because it looks kind of neat.
Why are all of them doing
The
this?
dogs woke up. Oh, jeez.
Oh. Hey guys, it's been an hour. It's time to give up.
All right, I'm done.
Saw 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Go,
gonna be
Saw
fun.
fans. Woo.
And I think this is the one. This one's going to destroy all of them.
Yes.
It will immediately knock them all off. Barbie will be like number 11 because of how strong this movie will be. I'm not kidding. I'm putting all the chips down on the house, and I'm going to put the lease of the car in there. That Paw Patrol, the mighty movie,
Yay.
will dominate.
We've never seen anything Paw Patrol. Ever.
Nope.
Never watched it.
Multi-billion-dollar franchise.
I want to watch this movie.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the trailer?
I have.
I was
Kim
like-
Kardashian's going to be in it.
I don't care about that.
I was just amazed.
I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, it's over.
Everyone else is fucked.
Yeah. Saw will make its money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The creator will be broke. And
It'll have like nice reviews, but it won't be able to break even.
yeah, put that on streaming, dude. And then Dumb Money will probably go up for an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sleeper hit. Everyone's gonna be like, this one was amazing. Movie of the year. And it's like, you're only thinking of that because it came out close to the end of the year. And you're forgetting about all the good ones in the beginning of the year.
Well, there's just a star-studded cast, and it's supposed to be a really funny movie. Mm-hmm. I laughed at the trailer, but it's not hard to make me laugh. I have a good sense of humor. Okay, so that was Coffee Break.
Since the dogs are awake and rumbling around.
Yep. And I'm going to go eat a hot pickle.
Yum.
So, see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Testing.
Testing.